Hi, welcome to the Dirt Trail Running Podcast. My name is Michele Hartwig, and I am the host and the race director at Ornery Mule Racing. And we are here for a year-end recap, and we're just going to talk tonight with some friends and share some of our favorite parts of this year on the trails. And everybody want to introduce themselves?
Hi, I'm Lilly Medina. I'm a trail runner.
Yeah, you are.
And a first grade teacher. I used to be. I don't know what to say.
You used to be a
I
first?
used to be. Now I do just ESL pullouts. So I pull my English language learners to support them in Spanish.
Oh,
So,
cool.
yeah.
But you're mostly a trail runner.
But I'm mostly a trail runner.
Efrain Huerta. I am her better half. I'm also a trail runner. I'm not as good as her.
You've been crushing it.
I am working my way there, little by little.
No, you are a strong runner. Very good runner.
Yeah, man.
He's the other side of the yell, "Hey, boyfriend!"
I am Sid Wagner. I work at Ornery Mule. I'm the course director for Kettle and Midwest States, and I'm also a trail runner.
Yeah. Woo!
Everyone should be a trail runner.
Yeah.
Of course.
Must be nice to have trails around you.
I'm Nicki. I work for Ornery Mule. I do pretty much everything at the shop. I take care of. Let's say that. No one came up with the name, so.
No, there were
for.
Chris.
Were there offers?
Yeah, there was a couple names. I forgot what they were. They were good ones. We'll have to look those up.
Need a title.
Okay.
Let me see if I can
We need a
find it.
title.
Check the links below for Nikki's.
Yeah, we're still working on Nikki's title, so
Trying to find some.
put more in because there was only like 2 votes.
I'll put $5 on the
Oh,
winning
one of
name.
them had to do with Midwest States because you saved somebody at Midwest States.
Yeah.
What was that?
So I don't know. It's just so cyclical and like fluctuates, my job.
Yeah.
It's all things. It's like a mom, like,
Trail
you know when they list all the things that a mom does?
Or
Yeah.
It's
your
all
mom.
these like,
She's
like
like ultra
chauffeur,
mom.
cook, chef, cleaner, counselor, all those. That's, yeah.
So ornery mom.
I'm just going to know her as mother from
Probably.
now
Ornery
on.
mom, my kids would actually really understand
Oh
that.
my God, that'd be great. Well, then I'm Brian. I run. I'm just here to talk.
Right.
So,
And where'd you come from?
Kentucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How far of a
Oh,
drive is that?
fun.
He ran here.
No, that would be fun. No, it's like 300 miles. It'd take at least
Well,
like,
it seems sound like
Well,
a
it's-
challenge.
it'd be like 3 days. That's
Well,
too
we
long.
should do that.
We can support you. We'll crew you.
Ah,
Sounds like a
no.
great idea.
Like we come here for a podcast and like finally I make it in the door and I'm just like, can I just go to sleep?
Find a
please?"
route.
You know the whole run could be the podcast.
Oh,
You do that pretty well, actually.
I've been wanting to do a run across someplace, just like start
Can we
someplace.
do
and-
it?
Let's do
Let's do
it.
something.
We just got to find the
Yeah.
good route.
There's a route across Wisconsin, and it's mostly trail.
why don't we just do the whole ice
that's
age?
nice. How far is
Ice
it?
Age Trail.
All the way across Wisconsin.
Oh, the Ice Age Trail, 1,300 miles.
No, it's pretty much straight across.
It
Yeah.
would be perfect then.
Oh my gosh, that sounds fun.
Yeah,
We should
like-
do that.
Didn't somebody do that last year? Or
Yeah, there's
set
there's
out?
FKTs for it already.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a thing.
Well, we're not going to try to beat it. We're just trying to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was a female that was set to do that last year.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, that was for the Ice Age Trail.
Yeah, the whole thing though.
Yeah, because
right.
Loretta coaches her.
I don't know if you heard it, Michelle. I pitched the Ice Age Trail while you guys were talking about states. I said, let's just do the Ice Age once
And I
it's
said
in
it was
Wisconsin.
too far.
That is a little too far.
It's only
we don't have
1,200.
that much downtime. And
We're
I don't
working
think
on
that
it.
they
Yeah.
agree we have any downtime. But we can find it to do I've been totally wanting to do just a run across,
Oh, that'd be so
run
fun.
across Illinois,
Yep.
run to Brian's house.
Yeah, run to Brian's house sounds like a race, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I think it sounds good.
Sounds like
Run to Brian's house.
How,
That's
fa-
good.
how far is it?
in
I don't know.
Kentucky.
You drove it.
All right,
What is it?
I'll be right back.
Brian's gonna go figure it out. The
Oh
distance.
boy.
It could be a relay. We
He's
could
gonna
do it
go
in
home.
legs.
Ooh,
Yeah.
See? We could do that. That would be
I like
fun.
that
We
idea.
need to do that. We'll get
Like
that
a
on the
rec-
calendar.
like a supported leg race that people run.
Yes,
That'll
for
be
sure.
fun.
I like
Hey
that.
Google,
Continue.
How far is it to get home?
take me home.
Tonight.
Oh, it's got flowers for me.
There you go.
409 miles.
409. So what we
Wow.
could do is we could have like one support car, and
Yeah.
then every once in a while we take a break and we drive the support car, but we all like run.
Yeah.
It's like a relay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a relay.
Okay,
drive like that.
realistically, then what could we actually cover? Like as a team, we'd probably cover what, about 150 a day?
Well, you can.
No, but between all of us, what do we say the average pace would be for us? A 6 miles an hour, 10-minute mile? If we're just
That sounds fast.
on
Yeah,
the
that would be a
road?
little fast. I could
Sure.
probably do a 50K a day.
so, but at a 10-minute,
So it'd take a little while,
at
I
10
guess.
10 to 12-minute mile,
Why
it's
don't we
5
just
miles an
drive
hour,
it?
24 hours.
Let's just drive it.
Yeah, a lot
Figure
of-
it out.
No, I'm
Maybe
in
stops.
planning mode. I'm in planning mode. I mean, that's
Maybe we don't go to Brian's house. Maybe.
I'll host.
400
That sounds
miles
like
is a day.
next year's podcast.
There we go. Perfect.
2025.
Yeah.
Well, that's funny that we totally did not plan to talk about that.
No.
But
No.
but that's exactly what we want to talk about is all the super fun stuff that has happened within the trail and ultra running community. And like Brian has said it, we have a really fantastic community here in the Midwest and honestly across the United States. Every place I go, the trail running community is really great. So we just thought, for the end of the year, let's just kind of share one so that we don't have a 4-hour podcast, which we might anyhow.
well.
Get a beer, sit down, and we can start with Lilly.
Oh,
Oh wait, actually people should send ideas for a challenge. Like if someone thinks of a good challenge, maybe not to Brian's house, but like something that they
Yeah.
think that would be super awesome for us to like do something like that, let us know.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
Yeah, definitely in the comments.
Yeah.
If you're on YouTube, in the comments, put some ideas of where we should run to.
Yeah.
We
would
could
be
run
fun.
to like Turkey Run State Park. That might be good, but we'll talk about that
Yeah.
later on.
In my head cut it Turkey, and I'm like, that's overseas, Michelle. That's further.
Run it.
That includes a swim.
I don't swim.
I don't either.
Turn it into a triathlon.
It could be a kayak. We could kayak.
ooh, that would be fun. I do like kayaks.
There we go. We could float the Mississippi.
Why don't we just go?
The Mississippi's
Hey,
not that
it
far
does.
away. We could definitely run.
Why don't
to
we just
that.
go tubing? Oh wait, we did that.
Oh, you guys did
That was harder than running.
Oh my gosh,
Why?
You guys stay
Nikki!
together?
No, the water was so low that you had to keep getting up and pulling your tube.
Oh.
Well,
It took,
Nikki
like-
had to keep getting up and
It
pulling
was a
me and
nightmare.
Sid.
It was hot. It took like 3 hours to do a 1-hour float. It was not fun.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
didn't have shoes.
Yeah.
And so,
It was
did
super
you have
rocky.
shoes on?
I don't
I
think
didn't
I
want to
did.
walk because you were pulling us. Because I'm
Yeah,
like,
I
I'm
got
just gonna
sick and
float
tired.
here
I
for
couldn't-
5
I couldn't
hours.
like you could float. You floated like super slowly.
I can see Nikki just
I
being
did.
like,
I would
this
get
isn't
out
good
and I would
enough.
get in my tube and I would pull everybody with all the tubes.
Let's go.
Yeah. So
Here we go,
so
trail
for
mom.
for context, we're at Turkey Run State Park in Indiana, and so we did some trail running. We did a photo shoot, and then the plan was to go tubing the next day. And so we get our tubes and we go down to the river, and the river is so shallow that when you sat in your tubes, you basically sat on the bottom of this
You didn't
river.
move.
Yeah. So you were constantly just we basically walked
Walked
3
it.
miles with our
Yeah.
tubes to the end of it.
And didn't it say it was supposed to be like a 1 hour
Yeah,
tube?
you
and
had
it
an
was
hour
like
to
It
do
was
it.
3.5 hours took us to go an hour.
Yeah.
And that was with me pulling people for like half an hour.
So
Yeah.
we lost our deposit because we didn't finish in
All
time.
right. Yeah. It was
Really?
it was
Even that?
long.
Yeah.
Did you guys complain about the water? They should have put some in there.
Oh, really? We really did lose a
This
deposit?
is the most poorly
For being
managed
late?
river.
Jenny paid for it. I think she did lose.
Oh my god.
Well, we finished in an hour, but they're the ones that had like the receipt to show
Oh,
when
Yeah,
they
okay.
started.
Yeah, Jenny and Jeremy kind of like they decided to float slow. We
Yeah.
finished away from because they didn't pull each other.
They didn't have
They didn't pull
Nikki
each
that was
other.
like, I am
I was a
done.
mule. I was like on the canal. I was pulling people.
I mean, I was sitting there. I'm like, well,
Yeah.
Nikki's pulling me now.
Yeah.
We let her do her job.
We got an
Yeah.
hour to get there. or
I get
we don't
antsy.
get
I
a
can't
refund.
wait like that.
So that's the kind of fun we have.
Yeah, no, for real.
And there was a little bit of running in there too.
Yeah.
Throw it in there.
Anyway.
Did you answer,
So,
Lily?
what's your
Yeah.
Oh,
favorite
Lily.
part of 2023, Lily?
Of 2023, I just think just volunteering. I felt like I volunteered a lot more this year than last year. I focused a lot on running last year, and volunteering was a lot of fun. I got to meet a lot of people, and just seeing the other side of the running, getting to help others achieve their goals and getting them through that. I really enjoy that, and I don't know, it brought a lot of different emotions and tears even, like seeing some people finish that I would see at the aid station, and then when I finished my job at the aid station, I went to the finish line and actually seeing them finish. I think that's what made a big difference for me, like just seeing the volunteer aspect of it and how it's so different. Like being the runner, it's a different feeling than being there, seeing other people suffer and go through really hard things, and then seeing them actually finish and accomplish what they were there to, to do in the first place. So I think volunteering is amazing. Like if you're not a runner, that's okay. Just volunteer, and then you'll get to experience it all, from all the emotions, the happy, the sad, the angry, the bad. All of it at once.
Well, don't you think that even as a runner, you should experience volunteering? Because
oh my God,
it's
yeah,
it's so different. Like you can, and as a runner, when you're running and you're experiencing the aid stations and all the volunteers, it's from one aspect. But
yes,
being the volunteer, it's just as gratifying, but so different.
I feel like it's a lot harder. Like even
I
crewing.
think it's hard. It is
when
hard.
I crewed the boyfriend, it was a lot harder. I was like, this is exhausting. Like, I'd rather be running than trying to keep up where are you going to be at? What are you going to need?
Yeah, right.
And just to keep that high energy all the time for him and all the other runners that are coming through, it was exhausting.
Warm. You were cold.
I'm always cold, yeah.
Well, yeah. And,
so,
and like driving the country roads at night.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I say that
definitely.
after every race, I say it would be easier to run this than
definitely.
to do everything.
I mean, and I never crewed for anybody, but this year I did for him, and it was like, oh my God, I was so much more tired, I felt, than if I had actually ran the race.
Yeah.
So it's just different. But yeah, definitely you have to volunteer. Like, I think that's something you must do, whether you're a runner or not. If you're like, I don't run, well, who cares? Just show up, watch the event, watch these people, volunteer. Be out there for them. It's life-changing. It really is.
Yeah, we have a lot of volunteers that aren't runners that just they love the outdoors. If you love the outdoors, come volunteer at a trail race.
Listen,
I
it's
totally
an excuse
agree.
to just hang with friends for 30 hours and like soldier through something with people.
And make new friends, meet new friends.
Yeah, it's
and different people from all walks of life. You just don't know what you're gonna.
And you have an aid station at Midwest States. That's your aid station.
Yeah,
Golden
that
aid
was
station.
something.
That's like a whole weekend vacation type situation.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we bring our daughters, our girls, and it's always fun. And it's been nice to see people from last year that ran it for the first time, the first year of it. And this year to see them back, it was just like.
Yeah.
And then seeing them post pictures, I'm like, oh my God, I took that picture at the aid station. So it's always really nice. I mean, we've seen a couple of the runners out here doing other races, even in, where we live. So it was like, oh my God, I remember seeing you at Midwest States.
Yeah.
So at Potawatomi, we saw a person, and they're like, oh yeah, we're here for this.
Oh yeah.
My
guy that was probably.
yes.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Little
oh,
by-
I took that picture.
little by
at the
little.
aid station.
that was
All of a sudden, when you're
that
running at
That
a,
was so funny.
when you're
It
in a
wasn't that we're
race
just
and somebody
sitting.
just shouts your name out, and you're like, oh yeah, I remember them from that race.
Yeah.
But now they're on the other side, and now you're running.
Yeah.
So
It's so cool. It's just
vice
an amazing
versa.
feeling too.
And having Facebook and like Instagram helps you remember everybody's name too and
you
connect.
make a connection.
Yeah.
You're like, oh yeah.
Because sometimes you can run with somebody for like 20 miles and you didn't really see their face.
Right.
And
Yeah.
maybe don't even remember their name. But
Yeah,
then
their name's like Texas or Utah, wherever they're from, because you remember that.
Remember, yeah, from them. It's true. Another thing that I experienced was just thinking back to all the people that I've met through the running community and all the races, and Galena Sky. So many people that I met the first year, and I didn't know who they were, and I didn't, had no idea. And then after I've been running a little more, I get to see them over and over, and I'm like, oh my God. They were there when I went to do this race. And then just looking back at the pictures, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my God, they were there. And I didn't even know. Now they're my friends. And it's just that feeling of like, I missed out on a lot, like not running or not finding this before. But it's always so cool to see, just to even look back at those memories, those pictures from the photographers. and getting to see the people that you didn't know before, now they've become your friends, almost
Yeah.
your family.
Because
Oh,
Clean
yeah.
Sky was your first
Yeah.
ultra race.
Mhm.
Okay.
And then after that, I did the nuclear meltdown.
Uh-huh.
And then we were looking back at some of the pictures, and I'm like, oh my God, Matt is there. Matt,
Yeah.
which I didn't know at that time.
Yeah.
And then Reese was there, and
Yeah.
I didn't know him, and I know him now. So it was just so much fun
Yeah.
to just look back at those races, and then now a lot of those are familiar faces that
Yeah.
we see all the time.
Yeah.
So that's pretty awesome. Just what you've built over time.
With the community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you kind of stay connected, once you see them, and then they kind of stay on your Strava. Oh, you ran with this person so many miles, and then you're like, oh yeah, I remember you. So then you click on them, and then you kind of just stay connected for a while. Just follow up what they do.
Yeah.
That
Yes.
community building just
Yeah.
keeps growing. Mhm.
I feel like you meet more people volunteering at a race than running.
Oh,
Because
definitely.
Yeah.
running, you're just like, okay, that was a friendly face, that was a
Right.
friendly face, but then you get in your
You're
car,
more
you
into-
get in your
it's
car
more
and you go home.
yourself. It's just
Yeah.
centered on you.
I'm
when
not
you're
me
running.
when I'm at mile whatever and
Right.
pissed off,
Right.
that my shoes don't feel right. That's not
Yeah.
gonna, But volunteering was how I actually got to know all of you guys. Even though I knew of you before, it was So like Lily said, go volunteer.
And you found out, like,
Definitely.
after 20 hours, we're freaking hilarious.
Oh my God, yeah, it's great. Like I can go that long, but watching these guys go that long, and then just watching the common sense deteriorate, but also functionality stayed high. It just took more
Right.
brains to do the same. But it was
Like,
so
we can do
awesome.
the work. We just might sound really stupid. while we're
Yes.
doing it.
Oh, it was such a blast.
Making up words.
Yep.
and-
Yeah,
Dances.
volunteer for sure. You won't know why saying things, as has been a trend on here,
Yeah.
cones are power, is funny until you volunteer a race.
Yes.
You know?
Definitely.
Yeah, we need a
Volunteer.
bumper sticker, cones are power.
Yeah.
Sure.
You understand if you volunteered at a
Yeah.
race.
Yeah. If you know, you know.
For sure.
Who wants to go next?
Let's go in a circle.
Me?
Okay.
Haha.
Well, every race has its best and its worst, but I think for me what stood out this year was at Hennepin when I ran it, because I actually ran it. It was my expected race the year before, but I couldn't run that because I got injured. So I was really, trying to get like a sub 24 goal for it, and then I ended up getting it. But just seeing that they broke the course record, female and male, was just an amazing place to be there at that time to find out all about that, and seeing, like she says, seeing everybody, from the elites to the middle pack to the back of the pack,
Yeah.
just finish every single one by one. It just gets better as they all come in to the finish.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We had a pretty high finish rate, but yeah, like those last 29-hour, man, everybody's crying.
Yeah.
It's funny because it doesn't really it's the golden hour is so good, but every person coming in at whatever time they come in, you just know that they left it all out there,
Yeah.
and
Their
that's just
face of relief.
yes. Efrain,
Their
what did you think
smiles.
about the weather at Hennepin compared to Potawatomi?
Oh, it was
Oh.
a lot better. Way better.
Wasn't it way easier to finish so much faster?
Yeah.
Nikki was telling me that you got
The
sweat out
pot-
pretty
like
bad
the
at
weather at
Potawatomi.
Pot.
It was awful. It was just
It
ridiculous.
was like a monsoon.
It was like 80 degrees.
It was hot before
No,
that.
it was like we started in the
In
midsummer,
80 degrees,
Yeah.
yeah.
and then we ended up like I don't
Freezing
know,
cold. It was
freezing cold.
terrible.
Yeah.
We got sleet.
After the monsoon, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a terrible.
But
But
sounds
Hennepin,
great.
the weather was
Then
fantastic.
we got
perfect.
Hennepin, It was yeah.
perfect for the runner.
Yep.
I mean, not so much for the volunteers. I felt like it got cold.
Yeah,
but
but I
as a
mean,
runner, I
I've been
think
colder.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was perfect. It was beautiful.
Yeah, the time showed it.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, for
Oh my
sure.
gosh, it's incredible just to see.
That was fun to see.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I didn't see
the
it, but I heard
finish
all
line.
about it.
It was
The finish
mean,
line
since-
at Hennepin was awesome, especially. I feel like I was there more this year than.
Because you were
Well, you
running it.
ran it
yeah, because I
last
wasn't
year.
running.
And again?
you were there the year before.
But yeah, just seeing, like you said, seeing everybody finish and just the look on their faces when they cross that finish line, and then just experiencing all that, and then Lilly leading us in that dance from the top of the hill. Just such a great vibe at that
Yeah.
finish line. It's just so amazing.
It is one of our best finish lines.
It is, for
I
sure.
don't know why. I hate to pick a favorite,
The
but
fire
it
department,
Really,
There's
that's
so
why.
many
I think it
people.
might be
There's
that.
so
That's
many
why.
people at that finish line. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
And they stick around
People
for a
stay.
while.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. People
Yeah.
just stay.
People just stay.
And there's the fire cadets, which
They're
we
so
probably
great.
talk about all the time, but we've seen them grow up.
I mean,
Like,
we're
they
gonna
were
be,
like
their
7
kids
years
are gonna
old.
be fire
They are
cadets
so
in a few
nice.
years.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
You know, as soon
Yeah.
as you show up, they're willing to help.
Yeah, the
Any-
little
anything
Every
that you
single
need.
person.
Yeah.
Well, they get to stay up all night,
Right.
which
Yeah,
is
right.
cool.
They're all-
Drive the
Yeah.
gators.
And drive
Yeah.
a 4x4.
Right. Yep.
So yeah, it really is. I mean, and every finish line is fantastic, but that is.
I agree.
I said if you ever see that the Hennepin 100 has a 50 mile that's at night and finishes in Kelowna, you know that I'm running. Because I'm the race director, so I can
do
change
whatever
the
I
rules.
want.
And I would
That
love to
would be
finish. I'm
one.
not going to sign up for the 100. There's no way that I have enough. I would be way too worried.
I won't let
do
you.
that.
so
Yeah,
it's
but I
fine.
think I could.
It's fine.
I think I could let Nicki would let me do the 50.
We'll see.
So a few more years,
Yeah.
and then we'll finish. I think we might do 1 year where we have the 50 finished in Kelowna, but it'll have to be at night. That's the only way we can make
But
that
that
work.
50-mile finish line is amazing too.
The 50-mile finish
It's
line
a
is amazing.
Huge aid station. And
Yeah.
There's so
Yeah.
many people there. It's great.
Yeah.
I love it there too.
Oh
It's a
yeah,
good
I was
one.
like, what does the 50 look like? Like that's where you dropped out, Brian.
It didn't look quite as amazing to you,
That
but
one.
they do. Oh my gosh, the
They do an
Yetis do
amazing
such a
job.
great
They
job.
do.
Where
They
Lilly
got like a
made me
couch at their
smile.
aid station.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that was actually
They
my
do.
first,
Like a blow up couch.
Yeah.
Awesome. Oh my God.
Why do you think Brian stopped there?
Maybe they need to get rid of the couch.
Yeah, right.
Lilly, thanks. Like seriously though, like I was just so mad at the world, and Lilly comes up to me and just goes, smile, and I couldn't stop, and I wanted to be mad, but this woman is just a bundle of
Yeah.
happiness, and it's
Yeah.
been really awesome to know her just throughout the season and see what she does.
Thank you.
Oh.
Listen,
You guys want to hug it out?
everybody's DNF'd, all right? And to have
Yeah.
somebody make you smile within like 10 seconds of realizing
Yeah.
your day just ended, that's,
It's part of finishing. You know,
Yeah.
you have to have a DNF, and then
Right.
Mm.
you're like, well, that sucked. And
Well,
so
yeah.
the next
That-
year, you make sure that doesn't
Happen.
happen.
yeah, by not running the same race again.
Or doing it 3 times.
There you go,
However
Sid.
long it takes. Yeah. Keep coming back.
So, well, I was actually going to talk about Taggart at Hennepin. So as long as we're on Hennepin, and it was really cool. Well, actually, our top 2, we had 2 course records at that. That was a very special thing
that
for
was
me
cool.
this year to see, because Taggart had been telling me that he wanted to get that course record, and it's a race he's been wanting to do since like 2020. I'm like, yeah, I think that we're probably going to end up, you should find a different race, because I think we're going to end up having to cancel. And he was all trained up, but he really wanted to do Hennepin
Because of COVID.
because of COVID. And we did end up canceling, or we didn't have the race. And so then this year he was all ready, and he was like watching videos, and like he knew the whole route. I actually ran the route. I'm like, okay, this is exactly 3 miles. I sent him a picture from the finish line, what it looks like, and he goes, oh yeah, I saw that on the video. So he was really well planned out. And then I was following him along on the course, and then Rachel Ragona she was freaking flying right behind him. She was crushing it. And every single time I'd see him, he'd be like, Michelle, it's going to happen. And he just looked so comfortable, and he was so happy all day. He just ran a perfect race, and then he got the course record. And then Chris Stamen, who was right behind him, actually was only 11 seconds off of the old course record.
Wow.
And then the top 2 females both beat the old course record. So Rachel
So
Ragona
awesome.
set the new course record. I actually wrote down 14:37.
That's amazing.
She's 40 years old with little kids.
Wow.
So,
Good girl.
like really
Wow.
Oh, Mom.
impressive. And then Lauren Mitchell was 16:0.
She beat it by like 4 hours or
4.
something, didn't she? It was like some kind of ridiculous.
Wow.
Oh yeah, well, because Jill had it, so the old course record was 16:04:35,
Okay, so not that
and
much.
Lauren Mitchell knew what
2
the
hours.
course record
Yeah.
was. She was going for it. She got 16:04:21, so she beat it by
A few
just a few seconds.
Wow.
But she knew she was second. But she did beat the old
Did
course
beat the old.
record, so
So as
Wow.
well. Okay.
which was really super cool.
And
to see.
there's incentive at Hennepin to beat that course
Yeah, we have a
record.
$750 prize money for
Oh,
breaking the course
nice.
record,
Record.
Lilly.
Bow, bow.
Yeah.
They're training.
Yeah, they'll buy a lot of nice shoes and overalls.
Might need some new overalls.
Michelle,
Yeah.
you think the course record will fall for men's again this year?
For Hennepin,
Mhm.
and then Reese, he wants the course record for Kettle. That one, he was pretty close.
Yeah.
For Hennepin, well, actually, Jim Sweeney signed up for Hennepin, and he had the old course record.
Okay.
Oh,
And
he wants it back.
And I'm like, I don't actually always open up the email when people sign up. And every once in a while, I'll just see who just signed up. And I opened it up, and it was Jim Sweeney. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited because he's from New York, and I knew he had the course record. It was actually a pretty cool story of him. He got the course record at Hennepin, and we were at aid station 715, and like everybody's like watching, and he comes running, and he saw me in the crowd. He stopped and walked over to me and like shook my hand and thanked me for putting on a great race. He told me that everybody was so nice and it was a great race. Like he had a long conversation. Like it felt long because I knew he was on course record time, and he like just completely took time to appreciate us
Yeah.
during the
That's
race, and then went
awesome.
on to finish and set the course record. But I opened it up and I saw his name and was all excited. And then like 3 minutes later, he emails. He goes, "I heard my course record got beat. I'm coming after it."
Nice.
Oh, exciting.
That's pretty awesome.
That's fun.
That will be fun.
And he has course records all over. Actually, I think he might have like the 4th fastest time at Kettle right now.
Okay.
Brian has the 5th fastest time?
6th.
6th?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Until this year.
Right.
We'll
Were you
see.
running this?
Until 24.
I would also like to. I don't care who wins. I don't care if it's Reese or I. I'd like both of us to get under the course record this year.
Yeah.
Ooh,
It's
And
gonna be
not
a-
just
You guys
be
can
a-
run in and hold hands and
Yeah.
tie it again.
Yeah, you guys could run in there together.
Yeah, sure.
Reese doesn't like running with anybody, so it's mostly going to be me barking at his heels most of the time. But I'd like us. I don't know about him, but I think sub 15 would be fun.
I could see
Yeah.
a
There's
sprint.
gonna be a
I could see
really
a
fast
sprint
record.
finish at
Yeah.
Kettle. That'd
Yeah.
be cool.
Quick
That would be
record,
fun.
yeah.
I mean, Kettle honestly is a fast course. Not it is. If you're
It
trained
can
up,
be.
on
I
If
don't
you,
see
if you
anybody
run it
agreeing
right.
with
That
that.
was Reese has the knowledge of the course. I didn't,
Yeah.
and there were so many parts that I didn't. Well, in the whole once I realized I was pretty far back, I started just stopping at aid stations. But if you run it right, there's so many flat spots you can take advantage
Yeah.
of that it becomes a
Absolutely.
fast course.
Right.
So
Yeah, if you know the course.
listen, if Walmsley can do Western States in 14, somebody could do Kettle in 13.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
It's just
Yeah, for sure.
it would be an insane project to learn the course well enough to be able to do that.
When it's all the things have to everything has to come together at the right
Yeah.
time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so what's up, Reese? Are we going 13 this
and-
year?
And registration opens on the 1st for
Yeah.
all you
Oh,
fast
yeah.
people.
Oh yeah.
Wait, say what?
Registration.
Registration.
I don't think this
couple
podcast
days.
will be out before that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well.
That's in
So if you guys haven't signed up yet, you're too late.
Get on the wait list.
It
'cause
does fill up, though.
25.
Yeah, hopefully it
Fills up in
moves.
5 seconds.
Yeah, it fills up
The only
right away.
reason it didn't move last year is because it crashed and it let in 40 relay teams.
Yeah.
And I had it capped at
Oh,
10.
That was a nightmare.
Oh,
So I
snap.
couldn't let any
Those
100-mile runners in because I had all of those relay teams.
You know how Western States does the live lottery? I was talking to Sid. I'm like, we should do a live kettle thing where it's like 5 minutes. We're like, it's a 5-minute thing. 5 minutes, like, okay, we're full. Bang. That's it.
All right, registration's opening, and we're done. Okay.
We're open, we're closed.
Thanks for watching.
It doesn't feel like that. For some reason that day, I am just
Oh, yeah.
like on the computer busy. Like I'll be answering emails till 5 o'clock.
Because you're
at
not
night.
signing up for the race.
Do you know how scared
Yeah.
I was? I wasn't gonna make it in.
Yeah,
Like I
me
was,
too.
I was on the phone with my mom. I was like, "You're
like,
are you there? Are you ready
Yeah,
to do it?"
yeah.
Oh,
It's like
yeah,
getting
no.
Taylor Swift tickets.
Yeah. Oh, I
Well,
need
we'll
to set
see,
a reminder
hopefully.
to accept your thing.
should.
Yep. I
Yeah,
got it.
because
It's gonna go
we
away in 24
added
hours.
top
not,
10
right?
finish for Kettle.
Let me transfer.
Get an early invite
Mm.
because
You
Western
have to pay
States
for it right
invites
away,
all their
right?
top 10 finishers.
Oh.
And since we were just out there, I don't know, it just felt like a good tradition to have. And
Yeah.
I want to
a
encourage
good
the
idea.
the competition and encourage the back of the pack. So we
Well,
sent
and
an invite.
reward the fast,
Yeah.
reward people for.
Yeah, we
Putting
like
in
it
the
when they
work.
train and
Effort.
put in the work
Yeah,
and go and like
absolutely.
lay
Well,
it
and
down
actually,
there.
that goes along with what I was thinking. When you were talking about, was it Sweeney talking to you at 7:15? For him to be leading and you to be at aid station 7:15 to talk to, that means you were hauling ass to get there. I
Yeah.
know what that like that
It's
that
hard.
day is so crazy. So the just you getting there meant like you were hustling to get there. It's so crazy.
And that was before we had a 50K. So now the race is even
Oh,
busier because
yeah.
we used
Oh,
to
wow.
only have
Yeah.
100-mile, 50-mile,
It's so
and now it's just like
Right.
that's races.
yeah, the day is
it's a
super
beast.
crazy until
Yeah.
about 4, and then things kind of calm down, and we can just. And by calm down, I mean like just be at the finish line for people to come in. You know,
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
then it's just like the race is starting, the people are running, everyone's going faster than you expect, and then the
Especially
50
at the
milers are
beginning.
finishing, and then we got to get the 50Kers on the bus, and
That's right.
yeah, Hennepin's the thing.
Yeah, my very first, like my race director learning experience, my very first Hennepin, I ended up like having to race the first 100-miler to the finish line because it was dark out, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I like didn't quite realize he was gonna already be there, and they're like, no, he's gonna be there at this time. So I'm like flying down these roads. I get out of the car, I run. It was at the old finish line. There was like a bridge you had to run across. I ran across the bridge, and then here comes the runner.
Oh,
Down, I
man.
beat him.
It's crazy.
Wow.
I think Sid's next.
Yeah.
And we had
Yeah.
like long pause.
Yeah.
Long pause.
Seinfeld.
like a really tall bear, a long pause.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, speaking of bears,
Midwest
I would
States.
like to touch on Midwest states, and
Yeah.
we've kind of already talked about a lot of this, but the big thing about Midwest states for me is just the trail running community, and again, we've already talked about it, but it's such a great environment for everybody getting to know each other. There's the camping.
Camp out.
There's
Yeah, the
the
camping
You have
is
to
so
camp out.
great this year.
Everybody's loved it. I
You have
mean,
to camp out.
you
everybody's
you
always
get a
loved it.
campsite with people you don't know, and you become best friends, and you get you spend a couple days with them rather than just like meeting up with somebody on the trail and running with them for 2 miles. You spend a couple nights in a campsite. You've got a bonfire, whatever. You're exchanging stories. We've got events. The days leading up to the race. We've got our schmore.
It's
Schmore.
It's s'more. There's no H in it. It's weird.
It's a s'more
It's from Wisconsin.
event. So everybody, gets to meet everybody and talk and exchange stories, and that's what the whole weekend is about. And it's just amazing how
It is.
just seeing the people that are signing up for this race that have done it for 3 years now or 2 years, and every time I get the emails when somebody signs up, and I look at every one of them like, oh yay, so and so just signed
back.
up.
It's like
you know?
a family reunion.
Yeah, and,
Yeah.
and then I get to post it on the Facebook page. Oh, so and so is coming back to run, and it's such a fun event, and for us it's almost a 2-week event. We go up there early, and we're up there after the race, getting we set up, and then we take it down, and we take our time, and it's just so much fun.
Well, and it's interesting to see. It's like like I wasn't in Ornery Mule when Hennepin started, but it's like that beginning where the community is just getting to know
I
us.
was just gonna
And
say
And I'm telling you,
something about
we
that.
love them,
Yeah.
but they love us. It's like a give and take relationship, and they come out, and so we've only been there 2 years, but you see these people coming out that are just like, oh no, we're just here to help. And I mean, by here to help, these are not runners. They've never run. They're just locals, but they're picking people up from the hospital and bringing them back to the race start. And they're like, what can I do? And we're like, well, I got a little crazy thing for it. Can you do Yeah, well, we can do this.
Earl, there was that one couple. I can't remember what their name
Yeah,
was, but
I don't
yeah,
remember their
and
name
then they
either.
brought their friends too.
Right, yes.
Yep, and yeah, they hung out all night. They're like, why would
I
we
was
miss
gonna
this?
say,
And that's
This
going
is
to be
fun.
like
Yeah.
it's going to be a tenfold multiplier next year. Like every year, it's going to happen. And like Noel is so amazing.
Oh my
And the
gosh.
food, listen, the food there is the best food we have
It's
anywhere
really
at
good.
any race. Like,
Yeah.
it's so amazing. The
You
location
have to
is great.
eat at the lodge.
Oh gosh,
Yeah.
definitely.
You
You
have
have to. But and I think those are like the trails that my heart loves. Except for the bears, which don't really bother you. But it's beautiful.
I mean, no one got eaten.
No one got it. I don't think I've ever. No one has yet said they saw a bear on trail, so it's fine. But it's beautiful out there.
I haven't even been to any of the trails, but that's all I keep hearing. So, I gotta
But
get out
but
there
speaking of the locals though, I remember the first year of Midwest States, one of the local people came over and they're like, "Hey, we've got a fire pit over across the in
Oh,
our
that's
property
right.
across the street. If you guys want to have a fire here at the finish line," I'm like, "Oh yeah, that'd be great." So I get in this guy's pickup truck and we go over and we get this fire pit. And this year, I'm like, "Hey, we should go see if that guy." So I walk over there, and I'm like, "Hey," and he's like, "Hey," and he's like, "Hey, Sid, right?" like, and I'm like, "Yeah, can we get that fire pit again?" And he's like, "Yeah, I actually got a brand new one because I knew you guys would be up here." So
Oh,
he
that's awesome.
puts it in the truck and they drive it over, and then later that night, there's like 15 of the local people, like him and his friends, are all just hanging out around this fire,
Oh, that was
just
the
having
guy.
a good
Yeah,
time.
okay.
That was right.
Yeah, and they're just cheering on the runners, and they brought firewood, and that Keith that helped
Yeah.
us with
yeah.
the
That had the
trail.
coolest shirt in the world.
Yeah,
The one guy was shaking.
The
old-fashioned,
old
yeah.
fashioned one?
The old-fashioned shirt we
need
to
that was
do.
super
So
cool.
he
We
brought
definitely
a
need to do
he
that.
brought a truck full of wood, and it was just they're just hanging out and cheering everybody on and just having a good time.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It
just
is
amazing.
fun, but
Yeah, I can't wait for.
I mean, I could kind of see the perspective, like, hey, honey, there's a bunch of idiots trying to run 100 miles
Yeah.
through the woods. You want to go watch?
Let's go laugh at them.
Let's see how this
This all rolls
all ends
out.
up.
And
It's
then
like-
she's like, I don't even drive that far.
Right.
It's like watching a car wreck.
Yeah.
Let's go see how this.
Oh.
But I definitely think, like you said, the community's gonna keep engaging more
Yeah.
into it. It's gonna grow.
It's exciting
It
to watch.
definitely
Yeah.
is.
Well, you guys are
Because
putting up.
even there being volunteering at the
Well, and
finish
now they're
line, and
having-
just people walking around and they're just kind of
You're
like
like, what's happening?
giving.
Yeah,
they're
like,
just
what-
kind of
yeah.
like looking, squinting, and like, what are you guys doing? You know.
Yeah,
And
next
they're
year
like,
they'll
"Oh,
be
we're
helping.
just here to eat at the
Right.
lodge, but what's going on? Well, it's just a race. And they're just looking at you like, okay.
Well,
Lodge
like
has
when you had to
Wi-Fi.
call the rescue, and they're like,
No,
you're like,
they're
how
not.
far did they run?
I said we're at the
right.
lodge, the race started at the lodge, and they're at P Town. They're like, no, they're not at P Town. I'm like, yeah, they
They didn't run that
are. It's 100 miles. They're like, well, that's 30 miles away. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, people run that far.
So funny.
I didn't think they did.
We're gonna need to call Krystal too. Should we
Oh,
call
yeah.
Krystal
Yeah, call
right now?
Krystal.
Because it's an hour later right there. So
Where?
we're calling Krystal the Pistol. She is in Florida right
Oh,
now.
It's an hour later, yeah.
I do not know Krystal.
And
Okay, so
oh, you
Krystal.
don't know
Krystal.
Krystal the Pistol?
You know Crystal.
I do.
You would recognize her.
So I've seen Krystal on the podcast before, but I don't know where Krystal went.
She lives in the area. Why is she in Florida? On
She's
vacation?
visiting her dad.
Okay.
Okay.
So Royal, should I just hold it by here? Okay.
Hello.
Hi there. Oh, good. I'm sorry it's so late.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah. So you're in Florida right now?
Yes, Yes, I am.
Wow.
I'm in South
Nice.
Florida visiting my parents.
Yeah. Well, cool.
We
Well,
could run to Florida.
Yeah. Oh, that's we
Yeah, that'd be
haven't.
fun.
That's where we need to do is the run to Florida. Yeah, we were talking. We started the podcast saying that we wanted to do a run across like Illinois or to somebody's house, but I mean Florida sounds nice.
Yeah, it's actually kind of chilly down here, but I will take chilly in South Florida over 30 degrees any day.
Yeah.
Chili.
For sure.
Yeah, for real, I was thinking of chili
The
jokes
same
in my head.
thing.
Those are the chilies.
Ooh.
So
run
on
tomorrow.
tonight's podcast, we are each sharing like a favorite memory of the year in the Midwest trail running community. Do you have one that you want to
Okay.
share?
I do, and I had some major FOMO this year because I did not get to go to as many OMR events as I wanted to, but I will say, Frozen Gnome was really fun because I was just at a good place in the race. I cheered so many people on, and then I helped one of the lead runners find his cell phone. And I have a picture of like the handoff because he was blazing past, and I was like trying to give him his phone, and it was just hilarious. So it was a really fun race to be at, and I don't normally like cold weather, but I kept warm by dancing.
Yeah,
So
Krystal
do it.
really doesn't like Krystal likes hot weather. Me and Krystal like our buddies that way.
Well, she is in Florida.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, didn't
But
you
wait,
guys take
but-
pictures?
But yeah, you guys took tons of pictures with his phone too, right, Crystal?
Yeah, yes.
Like
Well, it was
selfies.
lost.
Right.
Now
It was
the
at,
phone
it was
was
at like
lost.
Jeff's.
There's a
It was
picture
at
of
Goodman's
the
aid
handoff.
station.
Of the phone, and it is hilarious because he's probably like just a blur, and I'm just standing there with my arm out with a phone.
That's awesome. And then
Yeah,
you also
it was-
helped at Kettle this year, so you did make it to that.
Yes, Kettle was so much fun. We had such a good aid station. It was Wilton Road, and man, that was a great day. So much dancing, so many awesome faces, happy faces coming through in both directions, and I was the ice and water girl, so I had the sponges, and I kept everybody cool,
Remember.
and yeah, that was fun. I kind of forgot about that.
Yeah.
Thanks for reminding me that I was there all for like 20 hours volunteering.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's funny that you're like, I have FOMO. I only volunteered like 30 hours at
Right,
races.
yeah,
One
yeah.
was in the freezing cold. Yeah, you guys had it.
Yeah,
I'm
Kettle
so
was
glad I made
Kettle
it.
Kettle was a blast. We had so much fun.
Yeah, people loved your guys' station. And that ice. And she had the
ice.
water bucket there, and she was like drenching it over everybody's head.
Yep. I was one of those people.
Were you?
I was like, yes.
Oh yeah, that was a sweet relief for everybody, and that's such a good location too because you see people all day long, and you can see people at different stages of the race. So they might be feeling good going in one direction, and then coming back they're struggling. So you're there to help them through pretty much every moment.
Yeah.
And we're hoping to volunteer there again this year. So.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, I need to reach out to them. I didn't know if they were going to sign up because I sent all the volunteers an early invite to sign up. And then I'll find out if we got aid station people coming back, if they sign up for the race or not. But usually a lot of the people that do that, they find somebody else that's within their friend group to cover the aid station so they can get it back the next year.
Yeah.
Well, good. We hope
yeah.
that you guys
I'm
come back.
Oh yeah, I will totally be there. That is so much fun. And summer is my weather, so it's not like I'm gonna wuss out because it's cold.
And that is like the hot aid station. That's like right there, smack dab in the middle of the meadows, when people definitely need the ice.
Oh yeah, and we had popsicles and that was an aid station where there was no crew allowed, but we did have to tell a lot of people to like move on. Like, there's no, hi, thanks for stopping by, but there's no crew here.
Yeah, before I was the race director, that was just a table. It was a no. Yeah, and I got so many people to volunteer the first year. I'm like, I'm like, well, why don't we put them at that aid
Yeah.
station? We might as well have somebody there.
Yeah.
And actually, Vivian was the one that did it, and they freaking crushed it. And everybody was so excited because on the
yeah.
website it said, it was an unmanned aid station, and it was so exciting to have
Have
people there taking
Yeah, I
care of them, and they
bet,
had
yeah.
ice ready for them and stuff. So it was like, so I think it might actually still say, or for a while I kept it because everybody was so excited to find people there on accident.
Surprised, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, that was definitely a great race. So yeah, Frozen Gnome was really fun, and Kettle. Those were the 2 races that I volunteered at
Yeah.
in 2023.
But are you running a race this year?
Maybe.
You were thinking. I know you were thinking about it. You don't have to say if you aren't ready to say. I don't know if you've committed.
I'm thinking about running Hennepin 50 again because I love the 50-mile distance, and I can get it done in like a day, and then I can like hang out and volunteer. I can go sleep in a bed.
I know. There is something really nice about 50 miles or 100K because you can like eat dinner and.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's no high like 100-mile finish line.
There isn't.
Oh, I know. Oh, I totally agree. But yeah, I'm thinking about doing Hennepin 50 again. So hopefully I will do it, and then hopefully I'll be able to volunteer afterward if I have enough energy.
Yeah. Well, Krystal has finished every distance at Hennepin: the 100, the 50K, and the 50 mile.
Oh, nice.
So, because you did the 50K, our fat ass one when we did it.
Oh yeah, yes, that was fun. I really love that race. It's such a great race. The best atmosphere I think I've ever experienced at a race before.
Yeah, that's what we were just talking about that.
Good.
My husband's calling me. He's probably wondering where I was.
It's funny.
So, okay, well, thank you, Krystal. I'm not going to answer my husband. But
You should answer and be like, "Hello, you're on the podcast."
Oh, that would be awesome.
Should I?
Yeah, please do.
No, do not.
Do not
Do not do that. Here, I'll put him on. No, he already. Yeah, he's probably wondering where I am because he came home tonight and I didn't tell him that we were podcasting.
Oh.
So. Okay, well, thank you, Krystal. You guys have fun in Florida.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye, Krystal.
Bye, everyone.
I mean, nothing more suspicious than a missed call when you're wondering where your wife is.
On a Friday night. I hit ignore real quick.
Let me try that again.
Your son's phone starts ringing right now.
Right.
Well, yeah, little Rose not there either, so.
Nikki?
So, Nikki, it's up to
So this year we did some awesome adventures for Ornery Mule.
Oh, you guys did.
We did a lot, and actually
Yes.
thinking back about it today, I can't believe we did all this year. We went to Shawnee National Forest and went running, and we took pictures running, and we saw awesome things. And we stayed at a house in El Dorado. It's not El Dorado. It looks like El Dorado, but it's El Dorado. It was like a haunted kind of place, but I don't think it was really haunted. Not where like
Not
Michele
like
stayed.
ours.
Exactly.
Ours was
I'm
definitely
super
haunted.
jealous.
Yeah.
But it was super cool. And then we did another run adventure at Turkey Run, which is also great trails. I mean, Shawnee, we
Garden
only
of Gods.
we only hit like a tiny bit
Yeah,
of trails
yeah.
out there. And then Turkey Run was super amazing. And what we're kind of doing on these adventure runs is kind of what I'm calling it. We hit trails and we run on trails, and then we find something else that's super cool local.
Mhm.
So Turkey Run was we stayed at well, we didn't, but you guys had like a jail
Yeah.
house, or it was a it was like a Airbnb that had been a jail,
Yeah.
and they had, I mean,
The costumes.
you literally
and
stayed in a jail
cells.
cell.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's what those pictures
Yeah.
are from.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
No,
cool.
that was
And they had
that was-
costumes
you
for us.
slept there,
Oh
and
my
then
God.
you could actually, like you could
Can I go
dress up
find
and.
the
I
photo?
thought you guys brought all of that with you.
No, it was all there.
Oh, I thought you guys all
No.
brought that with you.
That's
like,
way
that
too
was-
much planning.
Well,
all
no. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, so that was so fun. Oh my gosh, that was so fun.
That
fun to
was.
That was fun to me. And then we went to Western States, which was, I mean, amazing.
That was unbelievable.
like, I don't know.
oh my god, I gotta
super
do
fun.
that with you guys sometime.
It was just being there, and this year we get to volunteer at an aid station,
Yeah.
which is because you got to be invited.
Yeah, you have to know somebody.
Yeah, so you have to be clear.
Yeah, they don't accept every volunteer,
Yeah.
but we've got two aid stations
Do
want
we?
us actually.
What's the other one?
Well, I don't want to
Do you
say
need
because
more
I don't want
volunteers?
one of the aid stations to know which one we chose.
Oh, okay.
But we do
Okay.
have two of them that have invited us.
Okay.
To,
Oh, nice.
Which is good because crewing at Western States is a job, man.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine crewing somebody. That's a lot of work. But then we tagged on to Western States, going to Yosemite and hiking there and doing
that
some
looked
epic
pretty
shit,
amazing.
which was so
yeah,
fun.
That looked
Yeah.
really cool.
And then
too.
actually, my favorite thing this year, outside of all our races, was driving from, the California side to Reno to fly out, which our flight was delayed, I don't know, like 9-10 hours, something like that. So instead of taking the expressway, we drove through the mountains.
because you had the time.
Yeah, in June. Late June. Like, we're talking almost July. We ran into 5 feet of snow.
like
Wow.
lots
Yes.
of snow.
Yeah.
It was,
I mean, it was
crazy.
crazy.
and we were driving on a mountain road, and Sid was driving, and he's like, "Is this a one-way road?" It was not a one-way road, but it
There was like side things, and we're like, what if another car comes? We're
Right.
backing 5
was
miles
funny.
back up the
Yeah.
mountain.
got dark.
And then deer were running out in front of us.
Creepy,
and-
weird deer. Oh yeah, remember that?
Creepy, weird deer. Hold on.
They remind me a little bit of Midwest states, like those mangy deer up there. I don't know, but yeah. So like for me this year, those
You did a lot of traveling.
You
I
guys
love the
did. Anybody
adventure
who
traveling.
watched their Facebook this year, any of these, like, you guys did a lot of really cool
we
trips.
did.
did.
You guys
Yeah.
did.
I can't believe
This
all
was
that
the
happened
year.
this year.
Yeah.
I thought Shawnee was for sure the year before, but
See,
wow,
I thought this was just normal for you guys. I didn't
Man.
know.
it was fun.
Mhm.
And we get to do it again.
So that was my
Yep.
that was my favorite part of the year.
Yeah, that was
Myself in
good.
a
Midwest States
suitcase.
though, I love it. Midwest States is my I love it.
But
We're
I
gonna-
stole that from you.
At Western States this year, we'll do some more filming because this
Yeah.
and actually I started another YouTube channel where we're gonna do Ornery Mule Adventure and Travel, so
Okay.
that we'll
Oh,
we'll do
nice.
some of our films of some of these cool places and bring everybody along with us.
Yeah.
Even though everybody's welcome to come with us,
Yeah.
like we rent big Airbnbs that have other rooms in them and stuff. So
Well, and you guys did the dunes. I didn't get to do the dunes, but you also did
yeah,
the Indiana dunes this
Oh,
year.
that was
I'm gonna
yeah.
need to
Yeah.
Those
start
were
being
cool
tagged
pictures
in
too.
Matt.
We'll let you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun, and yeah, anyone's welcome. Everyone's welcome. We just
yeah.
Kyle. That's where I got Kyle. I got to know Kyle at Western States.
Kyle's so
Yeah.
fun.
I
Yeah,
know.
we literally asked him like 4 days before Western States if he wanted to go, and he said yeah. I sent him by Instagram message, and then like about an hour later he goes, "Okay, I got my plane ticket, same plane as you."
Oh wow.
Better seats.
And we did
Better
not.
seats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
That is
So, and we had a blast with Kyle.
We did.
And I think he's coming this year. So this year, if anybody wants to go with us, we're going
Yes.
the week before and the week after.
You don't have to go both. You can.
You don't have to go. Yeah,
I'm not
but
Write these things.
I will be there the
I
whole
won't
time.
be out there that long.
So I'm gonna go, and I signed up for the Broken Arrow Sky Race, the
Oh,
the
yeah,
11K.
yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
It just goes straight up.
Yeah.
It actually you have.
Like,
It says you
middle,
have to be able to do the
Yeah.
distance up and down because you might not be able to take the tram down because it might be
I'll fly
not
out. I'll start
on.
saving. Cool.
Which so. But I can definitely do that. But it'll just be fun to do that, and then we'll stay afterwards and do some sort of adventure. My cats are gonna miss me.
Run
It's
the
gonna be
length of
rough.
California.
Bring them with.
I wish.
Cats are gonna
So
disown
cool.
you. Man.
So yeah, we've had some pretty
It's
good.
been fun.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
and more next year, and
Yep.
and everybody's welcome to come with us.
Even Brian.
Even Brian.
Where was
I'm
the
really
winery
thinking
place? Was
Western
that in
States.
California? I
That
mean,
was
we
down in
stayed in
Shawnee.
such cool places. No,
Oh yeah, we stayed in the winery in California
that was
that said
California.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the Airbnb was.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Airbnb, that was
I mean,
cool.
we tried to really pick like intentional, even if we're only there one night. We were only there one night, I think.
Yeah, because staying at an Airbnb is part of the trip.
Right.
Like, it's interesting.
yeah.
It's
Oh,
so
yeah,
much
'cause they're
better than a
so weird,
hotel.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I mean, every single thing is just, we try to make it very intentional. That haunted place, that El Dorado that was fun.
That was a really
Yeah,
cool
that was
house.
interesting.
Except maybe the hotel after Western States where
Yeah,
we heard
maybe that was
gunshots.
We're not
and-
going to stay there next
Oh.
year. That one was rough.
Yeah, you got to add some, like,
Yeah.
color in there.
Yeah. I mean, the Mexican restaurant out there was
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
That was perfect. But yeah, that one was rough.
Well, we got a Holiday Inn. We're staying at the Holiday Inn this year after.
Okay.
Because we've already booked that.
Yeah, we
Oh,
upgraded
nice.
this year.
Yeah.
Well,
Go
all right,
for
mine
Brian.
would, honestly, it's like my big thing is just been like experiencing this community this year. Like down in Kentucky, as I've told Michelle over and over again, it's bad. It's really bad. There's no running community, and even when I reach out to people in like the big cities, either Lexington or Louisville, it's like nobody wants to run trails. Nobody, and then like their idea of a trail run is 3 miles, and it's just. So, as I said, I drive up from Kentucky because this is where people are at. And
How
so
did you hear about this community or Ornery Mule or
I
any of it?
ended up linking up with Michelle for the virtual hennepin.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
okay.
And
the
then I just
Midwest
really
states, yeah.
appreciated her putting that on, and I sent her a message,
Cool.
and we kind of just clicked. And then volunteering, after running Kettle, volunteering Midwest States was like actually getting to put faces to names, and
Okay.
that was, yeah, I started meeting everybody. They're just so much fun to hang out with. But I say that because at Hennepin, after dropping at mile 50, like a lot of people I think either would want to go home or
Just
maybe.
ditch out.
Yeah, and like I looked at my mom,
Oh, nice.
and the first thing I said was, "Can we just go sit at the finish line for the rest of the night, just like Midwest States?" And she's like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be
Yeah.
fun." And so we went and grabbed pizza for Nicki, Sid, and the rest of the volunteers to the finish line, and just ended up hanging out as long as I could take. I mean, I still had run like 54 miles that day, so I was tired, but it was just the volunteer aspect, meeting people in a running community, doing these things together. That has been the coolest thing for me, just of this whole year, is seeing what Michelle, Nicki, Sid really managed to bring together with these events that they put on.
It's a vibe, right?
100%. Like,
Yeah. We don't do it. It just happens. It's not us.
You don't
It
plan
just,
it.
It just happens.
Yeah.
It's so amazing.
listen, if like all I know is that if whatever we come up with to do today, tomorrow, whatever, it would just be like, if I know it's with this group, everybody here is positive. And so even if it was just the shittiest thing, it would still be like, all right, we're gonna have fun.
Yeah.
Why not? You
For
know what I
sure.
mean? It's,
Yeah.
You're like, it's a monsoon. All right.
Right.
Like think about it. Like I had I think some of my lowest moments were the first year of Midwest States.
Oh, that was awful.
Some real low moments.
Bud West.
I see. For me, it was like
Mud.
Mosquito Town, but that you don't really remember those parts of it.
It's kind of like childbirth.
Birthing pains. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yes,
Yeah,
it is.
You remember all the good stuff.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's what we remember about 2023. All
Yeah.
the good stuff.
All the good stuff.
It was.
It was a
lot of
good year.
stuff.
I mean, we had great weather this year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we had.
For the races, yeah.
Yeah,
Except
oh
for
my gosh.
Pot.
Even
That's-
Except for
even
Pot.
Yeah, but that
starting
wasn't
at
our
home,
race.
it
That's
was-
not our race. So
Yeah. I mean,
Doesn't
Earth Day
matter.
was weird.
Kettle-
Earth Day
Kettle
had
You
Rain-
guys had like
Earth Day had every
cold
weather.
ice.
Earth Day had everything. It
Every-
had grapple,
every
which
season,
isn't even
yep.
a thing I've ever heard of before.
What is grapple?
Yeah.
It's like an exploded snowflake.
I don't know, but yeah,
Okay,
you guys
yep.
had some gnarly weather for.
yeah, we had to
Day,
Google
remember?
it. It's
Yeah,
it's
it
a
was
thing,
weird.
and
It's a
it's the
thing.
first time
It
we've
was
ever
like
Oh,
seen
yeah,
it.
'cause
slush raining from the sky.
It was.
Yes.
Everybody was saying there was more snow for Earth Day than Frozen
There
Gnome. We
was.
Yep.
need some snow for Frozen Gnome.
Yeah, I know.
Listen,
We're okay with that
start
snow.
cutting out paper snowflakes
I'm alright.
tonight.
There you go.
Same.
You can just get those
We need
machines that
Buddy
they have
the
in-
Elf.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
How far is Granite Peak and Wausau from here? They've got snow machines.
They got snow machines, great one.
Yeah, so when this podcast comes out, it'll be right by Frozen Gnome. It might be, I don't know how long it'll take to get out, but Frozen Gnome's our next race.
Next weekend.
Next
Yeah.
weekend.
Next
week.
Mhm.
January 6th.
Yes, we're ready.
We'll be there.
We'll be there.
Well, thank you guys for coming out. Did we do
Times.
an hour podcast?
Actually, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
We're right on.
I think we're under.
Crazy.
No way. That was under an hour?
Okay, somebody pick a
Okay.
different topic. What do we need to talk about?
Yeah.
What did we forget?
I mean, we can talk about stair shots.
We can talk
Ooh,
about
yeah.
we can
No,
talk
let's
about
not
how
talk
much
about
we're
that.
looking forward to 2024.
No.
Okay, as long as if we're under an
Yeah.
hour, yeah, maybe we should talk about something that we're looking forward to in 2024. Or maybe we already did that.
I think
Having a season where I can actually run races.
Yeah.
That'd be nice. It was my injured season this year. We've all had them, I think.
I'm looking forward to Midwest States growing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
for
everybody
sure.
finding out
How
about
many
that race.
how many people
I think
registered
it's
last year?
definitely growing.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody.
125.
And how many are you at right now?
95.
Yeah. So
Oh,
yeah, last year
that's
we had
awesome.
113 runners at Midwest States,
Start,
and
yeah.
we're already at 95 signed
Yeah.
up
Oh,
for the
yeah,
race.
it's gonna
So
be a great
yeah,
year.
it's
This is gonna be
And
amazing.
the
It's
first
gonna
year
be
was
going.
69. It's easy to remember because it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was so exciting.
Yes.
Was she really?
It's like nobody else better drop. We need to keep this at 69.
That's it, guys.
Oh,
I'm
yeah, I
running
think
to
it's
keep the
definitely
number
gonna
up.
keep
That was
growing.
good. That was good karma for that race starting our first
Maybe it was
year.
bad karma because that was the one that rained the whole
Oh my
time.
gosh, it was awful.
We need 2 more years of dry weather at Midwest States to negate the first year.
Yeah.
69 runners and it was wet, huh?
Oh,
God.
So
We had
wait,
to cut that
we've
out.
we've got Reese and Brian running Kettle. We've got Jim Sweeney coming back
Hennepin.
for Hennepin.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be an awesome year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and the one other thing that I wanted to talk about Midwest States was there were so many ultra virgins. It
Yeah.
was so many new runners running that race. And I mean, like, people who are actually, it's happening this year.
Yeah.
Sid keeps talking about, he keeps posting people who are, you know, he does the Facebook post. He's like, this is another person who is not on ultra sign up, who has not done anything on ultra sign up. It's a very, I don't even
It's
know.
welcoming.
It's
I don't
welcoming
know.
to new runners, and they finish. A lot of them finish.
Yeah.
I do
It's
think
a
of it as an
strange
adventure
race.
race because it's, I
I
mean,
really think
it's
it seems
about,
like it is.
yeah. And Megan, I mean, Megan could be, we should talk about Megan.
Yeah.
She's really building a
Building a
community up there.
Yeah, that's what I
'Cause
was thinking.
She
Oh, Megan
moved
and
there
Right.
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
2 hours away. She loved the
Megan
race so
Belkamp.
much
Yeah.
and the course so much that she just moved there.
Yeah, she
Oh,
does.
wow.
She does runs on the weekends up
Yeah.
there. And
From the lodge, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, she's getting that going, which is great. I think that a lot of runners are going to
Have to
start
get in-
coming out up there.
Get in touch with Megan.
Maybe we need to get a race in Kentucky.
There are
Ooh.
so few. Listen, I got a trail.
Yeah.
I got a
Listen,
few
like,
trails.
listen.
There's this one 15-mile loop that's barely marked. That was the one I went on. I think I messaged some of you about it. The leaves had just fallen, and so it was just guesswork. Because I was also
Mhm.
trying to do like
Figure it out.
a speed trail run, and so like I'd just be sprinting, and then all of a sudden I'm in bushes, and it's like, nope, all right, back up.
Our way.
But
Road
no,
trip.
there's trails in Kentucky. There's,
We'll have to check it out.
maybe.
it could be one of our excursions.
Yeah,
this
I
year.
think
Oh,
so.
for sure.
Yeah, we're
Sounds
always
that way.
looking for other
Sounds that way.
possible races.
I mean, it is the bourbon capital of the U.S. So
We'll
if any
see.
of you guys are into that,
Where is the Fireball capital?
That's in
here.
Kentucky.
That would be.
No, it's-
Our headquarters.
OMR headquarters.
That is whiskey. Isn't Kentucky all whiskey?
Fireball's made in Kentucky.
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
Yeah, so
See, maybe we need
Yeah.
one.
It'd be
See,
like
we
going
really need to
home.
go.
Right? We made it. We're here.
Aaron's mom works at the factory
calling
where they
us.
make it. So I mean, it's
Wow.
it's accessible.
Wow.
Fireball tour.
Yeah,
I
they should
might
be
have
a
to move to
sponsor.
Kentucky.
Maybe that's,
That's
our
what I'm
event.
saying.
Oh my
Yeah, we
gosh.
need to run eventually.
I'm sorry. I'll talk to some people. Do you
Well,
know how
thank
much
you.
Fireball these people drink?
Yeah.
You
sir?
realize.
I've been trying to get a sponsorship for a long time.
We can name the race after him. The Fireball.
The Fireball.
The Fireball. The
Fireball 50.
Fireball Run.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, Fireball 50. I like that. Down in Kentucky.
Would be fun.
All right, well, stay tuned.
We'll let you guys know.
Yeah, well, thank you everybody for tuning in.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We'll see you guys out on the trail. Woo!